Happy Thanksgiving, Michigan football fans. We are just a couple days away from the big game in Ann Arbor. Before we get into our show today with the 5 things Michigan needs to do to beat Ohio State, I want to make sure you guys see these 2 deals for Black Friday. I'm just trying to hook you guys up, okay? I'm thankful that you guys are thankful for this show, so I want to make sure that that you guys get hooked up. The Michigan football quarter zip, $33.74. Best Black Friday deal out there. Chatsports.com/blue5. Also put it down in the comments to this video on YouTube and the video description. All sale items. Got stuff up to 50% off, including, this is a great hoodie, fleece hoodie for the lady in your life, or ladies, buy it for yourself. All of them can be found chatsports.com/blue. We'll put that in the comment section below. I've got a great show for you coming up. It is Michigan football versus Ohio State, 5 keys to victory. All right, our first key to the game is to spy Justin Fields. Michigan's been killed, you guys know it, I know it, by running quarterbacks, guys who can make plays. Sometimes they're like the third-string quarterback from Indiana or Purdue. They make him look like a Heisman Trophy winner because Michigan has historically not been good against running quarterbacks. And Justin Fields, very athletic, although he's a hell of a passer. He has put up almost 500 yards on the ground this year, and he hasn't even really had to play that much in the second half of a lot of these games. So he could easily be 800, 900-yard rusher if they made it a bigger part of their offense. But where Ohio State can exploit Michigan is versus last year, where even though Stephen A. Smith says that Dwayne Haskins was more of a runner, he really wasn't. He was a passer. Where Justin Fields can exploit Ohio State or Michigan is if Michigan does what they're supposed to do, cover all the receivers, get pressure on Fields, and he can step up in the pockets and kind of slip to the side and go rolling to his right, see a receiver and hit him, or just take off for 10, 12, 15 yards. He's not the passer that Dwayne Haskins was. He is not 5,000 yards, 4,500 yards, 50 touchdowns, but he's put together a Heisman-worthy season. These stats, if he throws for a couple hundred yards against Michigan, will be better than Troy Smith, who won the Heisman for the Buckeyes in 2006. So Shea Patterson's more passing yards after the bonanza of 750 or so yards the past 2 weeks, but we see efficiency. Justin Fields at 9.3 yards per pass, 33 touchdowns, and 1 interception versus Shea's 21 and 5. So you got to stop Justin Fields. You got to make sure you spy him. Don't let him slip out there and run. Don't let him slip out there and buy time and hit a guy streaking across the field when Michigan loses containment. If you're watching the show, of course you're watching the show, hit the subscribe button. I hope if you're watching it means you like what you're seeing and you're not hate watching me like an Ohio State fan, who I actually like some of the Ohio State fans who have watched the show for the last couple years, follow me on Twitter, but there's been an uptick in snark in the comments section. So if you're an Ohio State fan, you want to keep watching, make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out. Michigan fans, get us to 6,000 subscribers before the game. You saw Wednesday's show. You know what that means. Hit that big red subscribe button. I want to ask you guys this question before we go through the rest of the keys to the game for a Michigan victory. Better rivalry. Type 1 for Michigan and Ohio State. Type 2 for Alabama and Auburn. There was some sort of debate there on the internet Tuesday night. I thought it was kind of a weird debate because everyone knows the answer to that one. But let's just make sure that there's no doubt among folks who are watching this video. Probably the greatest show for sports on YouTube right now, in my opinion. But I want to talk to you guys about the forecast in Ann Arbor. Saturday's weather forecast. If you haven't looked at it, it'll be about 37 degrees at game time. It'll be cloudy. And Ohio State fans, you better wear some rain gear, wear a slicker, wear one of those big hats and hoods over your head because there is a 100% chance of hail. You got me? 100% chance of hail. Michigan is going to take it to the Buckeyes. And you Michigan fans watching, just fill in the blank here because I know we're going to see some Bucks down there. Let's make sure we don't let them get away with it. Fill in the blank. Go blank. Come on. Go blank. Just fill it in below in the comment section. Just type that one word that you know what it means. When you're out there in the streets, you yell to somebody, they yell it back. Go blank. Don't let Ohio State fans fill it up with a go blue. The game is noon Saturday on Fox. And when the game was put on Fox the first time, I think last year, maybe it was 17, I actually was pretty disappointed about it because I thought their coverage was mediocre, but I do like Joe Klatt, Gus Johnson. They do a pretty good job. I actually think they might be better than the number one ABC crew. So the viewing game, the viewer won't be inconvenienced like I think they may have in years past. But Ohio State's a 9.5-point favorite. The over-under has dropped like 5 points down to 49. I believe it was like 53 or something like that, 54, 53.5 when the lines first came out on Sunday. So what that tells me is that the early money has come in on the under. The history of this game will say otherwise, recently at least, that they'll go way over 49. But that is why they put odds on it. And if you want to bet on this game, go ahead and do it at BetDSI, our sportsbook partner. Get started with a 120% deposit bonus. Put some money on the Wolverines, 7-1 against the spread since the Wisconsin game. Come on, guys, you know what's up here. 120% deposit bonus. Use your winnings on the Wolverines against Ohio State and into the bowl game to buy yourself an awesome Christmas present. Chatsports.com/bet is the website to send you to BetDSI and get that promo code GOBLUE. Number 2, 5 keys to the game. You got to go deep to Nico Collins. I feel sometimes like I'm pulling out my hair last year, first half of this year, when you don't go deep to Nico Collins 3 or 4 times per half. Not only does he catch the ball, I think he had 0 drops all of 2018. I haven't really checked in on the stat all of 2019 so far. So 0 drops last year at all. How about this stat? He has drawn more pass interference calls than any player in America. And since this was started being tracked, I believe this is the 7th season some service has started tracking it, he's too shy of the college football record in that short 7-year window. 11 is the record. Don't actually remember who the player was, to tell you the truth. But if he gets 2 pass interference calls, Michigan versus Ohio State in the bowl game, ties that record. And if he gets 3, he breaks it. So Nico Collins, you got to go deep to him. Throw the ball up. He's 6'4". He can jump out of the gym. And I think he's been underutilized a lot this year. Had his first 100-yard game in a Wolverine uniform in a winged helmet Saturday against Indiana. 31 catches, 649, and he has 7 touchdowns on the year. So that's my number 2 key to the game for Michigan. And Nico Collins is a big part of this Michigan offense that has come alive over the past 2 games. Probably the most exciting back-to-back games in victories that I can remember for the Michigan football offense. They're up to 400 yards per game, which is kind of mediocre in modern college football. I'm not going to lie there. But 247 yards passing. Shea Patterson has to throw for like 60 yards in this game to surpass his total for 2018. So passing game has come alive. Shea Patterson averaging 375 through the air over the last 2 games. Number 3, got a double team and chip Chase Young. What does a chip mean? Well, it's get a guard, just give him a shoulder, or get a running back to kind of come up and take out a leg, right? You got to do it because I don't know if I've seen a college football lineman, maybe since Ndamukong Suh 9 years ago, in that Big 12 title game against Texas, who you notice every single play, and he always seems to be somewhere around the quarterback, making the quarterback's life a living hell. And if Michigan thinks that Lil John Runyon, as good of a career he's had over the last 2 seasons, all Big Ten last year, is going to be able to take Chase Young, I have some land to sell you in the Everglades of Florida, because that means you are just blinded by your maze glasses and you have just drank too much of the blue Kool-Aid. This Ohio State defense, led by Chase Young, is the best in the country right now. And my defense to that, to Ohio State friends of mine, Ohio State frenemies, okay? You're never really friends with an Ohio State fan, is they're clearly running Harbaugh's defense because 2 of the 5 staffers on this defense were from Michigan. Greg Madison, Al Washington, they go down there, turn them around to the number 1 total defense, number 1 scoring defense, number 1 passing defense in the country. This is a dominant defense that you normally would get out of an Alabama. Clearly, it was what Greg Madison and Al Washington learned from Don Brown and John Harbaugh that has propelled Ohio State, whose defense gave up 50-plus to Maryland last year while they're doing so good. But nevertheless, Chase Young, they've got a cornerback that's going to be a top 10 pick probably in the NFL draft, and Michigan needs to prepare for that. And it all starts with Chase Young. Are you guys going to be at the game on Saturday, though? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'll be there, and my cushy seats are on the 34-yard line with all the big-time Michigan donors. You guys know what's up with that. Type Y for yes, type N for no. You type Y for yes if you want to donate a beer. I sneak in booze to the stadium, so I'll be drinking at the game. If you want to serve me a beer, if you got one on your tailgate beforehand, feel free to slide into the DMs on Instagram or Twitter. Remind you guys of our Michigan football best deals for Black Friday. The jersey there, 30% off. Chatsports.com/blue4. Come on, we make it easier. Blue4. You got it right there. We'll get you 30% off the Michigan football Jordan brand jersey, or my favorite, this quarter zip. I already bought one as a gift for somebody. Chatsports.com/blue5. All the sale items. There's hundreds of sale items right now for Black Friday. It's insane. If you want to get a whole new wardrobe, go to chatsports.com/blue. If you want to get your kids, sales on kids are amazing right now. Friends, whoever it is, chatsports.com/blue. We'll put it down in the comment section, also in the video description, so you can make it easy. Find those deals and don't pay full price. Number 4, Shea must run. Now, this might be counterintuitive to the past 2 weeks. This might be counterintuitive to what you think Michigan needs to do on Saturday. But what is Ohio State planning for? They're like, oh, these guys got it going on. Nobody is prepared. The preparation for Ohio State's staff, and a lot of the same guys are on the staff as were under Urban Meyer, and don't for a second think that Urban Meyer isn't in the building right now helping Ryan Day prep for this game. They're going to Columbus. They're going to be pre-game outside from 10 to 11, and then inside Michigan Stadium from 11 to 12 doing their Fox pregame show. What do you think that is for? It's because Urban Meyer is not in LA. He can be in Columbus all week and then go up to Ann Arbor. He is helping Ryan Day get ready for this game. And they're ready to shut down the Michigan passing attack. I'm sure they know everything that Michigan's done successfully through the air. And so where can Michigan throw a little bit of a wrench into the system is break out that running attack that we saw from Shea Patterson last year in the Wisconsin game and quite a few other games where he pulls the ball back and takes off for 10, 20, or 80 yards like he did against Wisconsin. So run Shea Patterson. If Shea Patterson gets 60 yards rushing, I think Michigan's going to be very successful in this game offensively. Number 5. Come ready for war. When I walked in the stadium in 2003, 2011, I felt the victory the second I walked into it. I'm not just talking about the team here. You Michigan fans who sit in your hands, yell. And by the way, Ward Manuel, do something to rally the fans. Let me see one of these pom-poms, the yellow pom-poms they gave away in 1997. Because I'll tell you this Ohio State team, number 1 offense in the country scoring, number 1 defense in the country from a scoring perspective, folks. This team is insane. I don't think I've ever seen a team like this have this solid of stats. And Michigan needs to bring the emotion. When I walked in the stadium in 2015, Jim Harbaugh's first year, I felt defeat. I felt defeat the second I walked in the stadium. The fans weren't ready for it. The players weren't ready for it. I was down in Columbus last year. I felt defeat there. Michigan didn't look like it. The traveling fans didn't seem like they were ready for war. And I'll tell you the team that was ready for war. It was this team right here in 2013.
At the door.
Damn it, that's the kind of emotion Michigan needs on Saturday, okay? And that's the kind of emotion you need to bring at a fan at the game, wherever you're watching with family members. Bring that emotion, because I tell you what, it's going to make a difference. Predict the score, folks. Let's see what you guys have for predictions. I'm predicting pain for Ohio State. That I can tell you. So we need to bring the emotion from the second you walk into the stadium on Saturday. Make sure to bring the emotion. Predict the score. First one to do it correctly. And tell us the team, $25 by me to you on Venmo. All right, Michigan football fans, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be in Ann Arbor on Saturday. I'm going to have the turnover chain with me. Michigan wins. You're an Ohio State fan. You better watch out, because I'm going to be swinging this bad boy afterwards, okay? Got some more videos for you here and here. Make sure to subscribe. Go Blue!